we had our entree with the black bean burger. We had our snack with the kale chips. What do we have now?
And now we kind of have our side. It's going to be our filling side.
All right. What kind of potatoes are these?
These are sweet potatoes. So we're going to be making sweet potato fries, and this is our kind of end goal. They'll be our bayonet cuts.
Okay.
But we're going to work on like a little bit of knife safety and stuff until then.
Okay. And I noticed that under the cutting boards you placed a towel. Why did you do that?
They're not required, but I find they're helpful so it doesn't, so your cutting board doesn't move around on you while you're cutting. Because sometimes it can just slip and slide, and this way it's
This
like
smooth.
slightly damp towel. It locks
Gives
it
you
in
a
place.
little. It slows
Just
it down.
what we need.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we'll start by picking up our knife.
Okay. Now
very
I
first
already
part.
know the first part is don't stick
pick it
yourself
up by
with
the
pointy
blade.
end. Don't pick it up by the blade.
Yep. So I like to hold my blade by like pinching right under like this kind of like lip here. And then I just curl the rest of my fingers around it.
Okay.
I have some people, they like to put their finger here. They feel like it helps them give you more control, like when you're forced. But I feel like that oftentimes makes your cut a little bit weaker. You're putting more force in your finger rather than the rest of your hand. And obviously your whole hand is stronger than one finger. So,
For sure.
so we're gonna make a first little cut here. I'm gonna do my claw hand so I don't nip any of my fingertips off.
That's a bad thing.
So
We
when
don't
you're cutting,
want
it'll
that.
hit like your knuckles and stuff first rather than chopping straight into your fingertips.
Nice.
And so I'm just gonna cut like a little sliver off the side here to give me a flat edge that I can lay it flat upon.
Okay. Bigger than that.
That's probably good. That's just fine.
Okay.
And then I'm just throwing our scraps in there. And then you'll lay it onto your flat side so that it won't move. It's all good.
Okay.
And so now we're gonna cut another little flat surface here. And so this is where you can look at your potato. We're not trying to waste here, so we're trying to get the most yield out of our like little potato. And so you can turn it back on its other flat side if you want, because now you have two.
Yeah, we can get a lot out of that.
You can turn it onto its butt so that you can make like little fries like this, or if it's easier on like your other flat side to cut fries that way, either way.
Okay.
Just whatever you feel most comfortable with.
Okay.
And so then we're gonna cut maybe about 1 centimeter or 1 inch and just make a little oval.
Kind of like a flat plate, sort of.
Yep. So this is what we're gonna turn into our fries, but we wanna we would just wanna cut the rest of our sweet potato into those little planks. Yeah. And then if it gets to be too much where you can't really cut, you feel like it's gonna slide and cut your finger,
You can turn it.
don't even worry about it.
Look
Just
at that.
let it work for you.
Yes.
And then kind of at the end, I'm left with this, but I like wedge fries.
We
They're
can do
fine.
that. We can do with that.
They're fine. And so now with our planks, you can cut off any, like if there's any like parts of the skin that kind of look a little bit harder. I kind of had like a hard little knot there. And then the rest of it we can cut into little French fries now. So we take our plank and cut it into little strips.
And again, we've got lots of color here.
Yes.
Which I like.
Yes, so
Not
potatoes are
boring.
actually a superfood as well
How are they super?
because they are also very nutritionally dense. So they have a bit more nutritional like values than regular potatoes with their like orange color, they're like phytochemicals and stuff.
What's a phytochemical?
It's kind of just like a compound in food that helps make up the colors, but it adds a lot of just nutrients your body needs, lots of vitamins and that kind of stuff. So the leafier your greens are, like kale versus romaine, and then also like your brighter color foods, they usually have more nutritional value to them.
Nice.
So the next step, it's going to be very similar to when we made our kale chips, but we're drizzling with oil and then salt and pepper and whatever seasonings we want to do.
I love that it's so simple.
So this is just, again, not an exact science. I'm just trying to get them enough so where they're coated, so when we bake them in the oven, that oil will give it a little crispness. All right.
Yeah.
And I'll pour in a little more if you just want to mix.
Yeah.
Add a little more.
Yes, get oiled up,
And then I'm gonna
friends.
season some salt on if you want to keep mixing.
So why coarse salt and not like just regular old table salt?
So coarse salt, they're just kind of cut differently in the salts, but this one you're gonna have more flavor when it's a coarser, bigger kernel
Yeah,
of
I'm noticing
salt
it's bigger.
versus the like finer. You can kind of see on the camera. They're decently big. You can see each individual little, which sometimes with salt, it just looks like sand. But they're gonna have more flavor per individual one with these kind of bigger, the coarse or the flakies.
More bang for the grain.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll throw in a little bit of pepper.
You escape.
But then that's just kind of the basics. But if you want to spice it up, you want to add chili powder, you want to add paprika, anything you want, really. They're your fries, your French fries. So, yeah. I think we have just a little bit of chili powder on hand. So,
Ooh, look at you.
why not make them
Let's make
more orange?
Well, we are redheads. We need to have.
Naturally.
Because
Because that's where the red hair comes from.
Indeed. Yeah.
The foods that you eat.
That's a science. That's science. Ah, casualty. Oh well.
It's okay. It happens.
Yep.
And we can go ahead and just lay those on there.
Okay.
And so kind of again similar with the kale strips, the more we have them spread out and the less like touching, the less kind of soggy mushy it'll be.
I'm gonna get warm.
Nice and toasty.
So since they're sweet potatoes, I mean, could you put sweet spices on this, or is it better
Yeah.
for the savory?
I mean, it's whatever you're going for. So people make sweet potato casserole with like brown sugar and marshmallows and stuff on top.
Yeah.
I mean, you could very well put brown sugar and some other like honey or something on them and make them like sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
I mean, those would also be good. I think now they are good to be put in the oven. So we'll put them in for about 15 to 20 minutes.
All right.
And then check them and maybe 5 to 10 more depending on how we want them. If we want them crispy or if they're looking good. And now we wait.
Now we wait. So the kitchen smells wonderful. So I take it that means that the sweet potato fries are ready.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
They're ready
Let's
to come
see.
out.
Let's see. What do we got?
See, this is nice right here. This is just nice. They're colorful and they're pretty
They smell good.
And they smell good. So let's taste.
Mhm.
What do we got? I like that they hold together.
Mm-hmm.
They're like not too mushy and not so crisp.
Yeah,
that
they're not like crispy like McDonald's French fries.
They're sweet, but not too sweet. It's just enough.
And I think the chili powder we put on them is actually really good. It doesn't taste really like chili or peppery at all, but it's a nice little something.
It has a naive arrogance that enhances it. Well done, not my daughter.
Well done, not my mom.